Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Rhoda Eats, and as a part of my Thanksgiving grab and go whole vibe, I'm just posting these other options that you could try to keep your Thanksgiving hands free. You can spend all the time with your family and friends that you need. Okay, so I'm starting with my pumpkin pie baked donuts, and don't forget that I always leave the ingredients and the amounts down below in the description box, so don't forget to look there. And if you do decide to try anything, whether it's on Thanksgiving or anytime after, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Rhoda Eats, and also tag me in whatever you do because I would love to see it. So as you can see, I'm using the canned pumpkin puree, but you can roast your pumpkin in the oven. That always provides such great flavor. And you can boil it and mash it. I just use the canned pumpkin because it's all about saving time in the kitchen. So that's what I went for. In these, I did forget to put baking powder, and it really affected the fluffiness of this specific pumpkin recipe. So don't forget your baking powder, okay? And it will be down below, of course, because it's something that you would normally add, but I was just hurrying so much to film this while the lighting was still good. I forgot it, okay? So don't be like me. It still had amazing flavor. It was just a little bit flat because I forgot the baking powder. That's it, okay? But I'll put it down below in the ingredients list so you won't forget it, of course. This dessert and also the other one I'm about to make is not only just for baked donuts. You could put it in ramekins or whatever else you want and bake it that way. But make sure you spray whatever you're using properly, or else you don't want them to stick. You know what I mean? Who wants that? Nobody. So make sure you spray your whatever you're using to bake properly, okay? So you know when you see the cup and the Ziploc bag that I'm about to do a little bit of piping. That's the best way for me with the cleanest outcome, not any mess and all that. So that's how I'm gonna get my batter into my little donut baking dish situation. All right. And also I wanted to remind you that I did post a couple videos already. So yeah, I do a Thanksgiving cupcake recipe, and I did drinks and another baked donut recipe, and I will link those down below so you can check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and share with someone, because you never know, because these are so delicious. All right, so now I'm just making our delicious glaze. All right, and you can use as much powdered sugar as you like. It melts so easily into the cream that it doesn't matter how much you put. You can make it as thick or as thin as you like. I like, for this recipe, I like it on the thicker side. It's just preference. It's totally up to you. It's delicious either way. Don't forget, you can find everything down below in the description box. Okay. Okay guys, it's time for our maple bacon baked donuts. This one is my favorite because hello, bacon, the sweetness of the donut and that salty flavor that we love from the bacon, unmatched, absolutely unmatched. All right, so of course I did make my bacon in the oven. That's how I always do it. It's my favorite way to do it. I just line my pan, put it on a rack, that way the grease drips down. And then of course we're going to use some of the grease in this recipe, but just know that the bacon will be perfectly crispy every time. All right, so I did that first and got it cooled and everything. So here I am just using the grease drippings from the pan, just 2 tablespoons, and that's all that you need. Okay, now one thing, you do not have to add maple extract, but it really does something with bringing out that maple flavor. I don't even know how to explain it, all right, but it does something. So it's not an option where you have to do it, but I think you should. All right, so you got that. And also use your favorite maple syrup. I love this Crown syrup. I'm going to I'll put a brand of it down in the ingredients so you could try it. It's so good. It's not super sweet. It's just delicious. It's time for bacon, bacon, bacon. Here I am adding my baking powder because, hello, I do not want to forget that again after I forgot it in my first batch of pumpkin donuts. So now that we've mixed this all up, I'm going to just use my hands and crush the bacon. Of course, I stole a few pieces. Okay, who wouldn't? So I crushed up 3 strips and I threw them in my batter. And just use your spoon and mix this. You don't want to use like a hand mixer or anything. And you do not need a hand mixer for any of these recipes. But I'm going the lazy way. If I could use a mixer, I'm using it. But just use a spoon to incorporate your bacon. That way the mixer doesn't crush it all up. And then who wants that? Why wouldn't you want to bite the bacon? Okay, and then I crushed up the other 2 pieces to put on the top as garnish. So here we are again. Okay, you just got to spray, spray, spray. Very, 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 and as thoroughly as you can spray. Okay, because these silicone molds, these babies will stick on you. All right. So yeah, just do that. Throw them in your 350 oven. Now for our maple glaze. I did put it in the microwave just to heat it up a little bit for about 20 seconds, and then I moved on. And also please make sure that your donuts are completely cool before you put the glaze on, because the glaze just runs right off. And don't forget, you could always do it as thick or as thin as you'd like, but it sticks better when your donut is cool. My donuts were warm here because I was rushing against the sunset. So the first time it did run right through, it just melted right off, and then I left them for a couple minutes and then did it again. It was a little bit better, but they were not completely cool. So please just remember to make sure that your donuts are cool. That way the glaze will just stay on it much better and look much better. right, so for our mashed potato balls, all right, do you remember my Thanksgiving cupcake video? Because if you don't, definitely go and watch it. Here's just a little clip of what I did with the mashed potatoes. It was my frosting on my Thanksgiving cupcake. Okay, so I'm using that as leftovers. You know, it was in the refrigerator. I did freeze my gravy that I had from the turkey, also in the Thanksgiving cupcake video. The link will be in the description box. All right, but yeah, I used that. If you want your gravy to run down, like when you cut it open, if you want it to have that run out effect, all you have to do is just not put any thickener. I use cornstarch to thicken my gravy because that's just how I like to eat this, and I just like my gravy thicker anyway. But just don't put any thickener in it, and then when you cut it, it'll run out. But yeah, so I dip it in the flour, I dip it in the egg, and then this that I'm putting on there, it is crushed Ritz crackers. All right, crushed Ritz crackers. I put a little bit of onion and garlic powder, black pepper, and some parsley in it, and it was absolutely delicious and crispy and light. It was perfect. So yeah. And this is it. This is how I like my gravy, because I don't want it to just run all out. I kind of like to spread it around. My favorite thing to do is dip it in ketchup. You don't have to dip it at all or do anything, but that's just how I like to eat it. But this is just another option for you to try, especially if there are little kids around and stuff like that. You just throw one of those in, or of course make it smaller, but give them one and they could just walk around and eat or whatever. But these are just a few more Thanksgiving options so you could stay out of the kitchen and stay with your family in these times. I want to thank you so much for watching my video today. Thank you for your support. A happy Thanksgiving to you and yours when it does come around. And also, don't forget to like, comment on this video, and subscribe. See ya.